point in time when the disk was energized, one of the archways became transparent and you could see the area outside of it just as if the archway was a window. Then a form of writing, which was unlike any alphabetic, scientific, or mathematical symbols I've ever seen, began to appear on one side of the transparent archway. I was never given access to the upper level of the disk, so I can't enlighten you as to what the porthole-like areas are, other than that I can assure you they're not portholes.
Anytime I was in the big hangar, my eyes were always focused right on the sport model. There could have been fires going on either side of me, and I would still have been looking at it. It was that captivating. When I was close to the sport model, I really focused on the skin of the craft, what it looked like, how it changed, the color. It has a small antenna-looking device, which is actually a waveguide that protrudes from the top. It is like pewter gray in color. It appears to be metal. I felt it. It's cold. It may not be. It might be some advanced ceramic of some type. So the body of the craft had ripples. One of them we called the insulation ring. It was a dark black color. The only thing on the outside that was a different color than the craft. We call it the insulation ring because when the craft is in operation, there is a high voltage detectable on the skin of the craft, but that high voltage is not present above that ring. The upper part of the craft above the insulation ring were what we call the planar arrays, flat window-looking, porthole-looking openings in the craft. They were unusually dark, really dark, almost looked like holes, although they weren't. It was theorized that they were used to determine the craft's location in space. Each one of them looking out in space, apparently looking at star positions or whatever energy or light it uses to locate its place. Each one looking in a different direction, and then some sort of computer in the upper level that takes that data and figures out its location. Again, I may be completely wrong, or the people that came up with that may be completely wrong, but I would agree with that. Just looking at it, it has to be something along those lines. I walked up to the stairs that led to the entrance of the craft. I remember climbing the stairs, how excited I was to finally get to see what's inside the craft. When I got to the top of the stairs, I could clearly see the reversed American flag to my left. The hatchway is fairly small, and I put my hands on both sides of it to bend down to go inside. And when I did, my hand was near the reversed American flag, so I noticed the exact size. It was just a little more than a span, a little more than, as far as my fingers stretched. And I glanced down and looked at the security guard who was staring at me and just kind of gave him a smile and proceeded into the craft.